said.
Hey, Teresa, is that you in the non-video box?
Yes, that's me, and we're now live.
All right, welcome to the Subcommittee on Natural Resources and Ag. Today is February 16th. Our agenda today includes one bill. It's House Bill 545. Deals with digital licenses at natural resources. We had this hearing a week or so ago. The sponsor at the hearing talked about amendments. As the bill came in, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation was opposed, but they've been working with the sponsor and with DNR to come up with amendments that I understand there is some consensus to. James, would you like to, these are DNR and sponsor amendments. James, would you like to tell us what the amendments are and what the bill will do?
Yeah, so just to, I guess, backtrack and clarify, these amendments are substantial, as it relates to narrowing the scope of this bill down to the recreational sector only. And Chesapeake Bay Foundation's concern was this bill's potential impact on the commercial side. So now that we're only playing in the recreational side, they're fine. So our amendments seek to clarify what is required from an individual when displaying their license. So if I'm stopped in the field by NRP, this bill would clarify that I have the ability to present, and let me show you, I got my prop here, just this. So let's just say, and I'm sorry that the glare is a little weird. So let's just say, Delegate Gilchrist is an NRP officer, he stops me. I can go onto my phone. I can either go onto the Compass app, pull it up on the website, or if I'm in an area that doesn't have good cell service, I can take a screen capture and I can say, here, officer, here's my license. He would take a look at that and say, okay, what are you doing? Okay, it looks like you're out here for a muzzle loader for deer. Do you have, your stamp? And you'll see it right there. It's listed out. And this same document is basically the standard document for all recreational licenses that we have currently. So you'll actually see I have not only my hunting on here, but I also have my title fishing as well.
So as amended,
this would be no longer a gray area to be able to do this. It'll be very clear in law that this is a valid form of identification and a valid license if stopped.
It's not a requirement, it's an option. So somebody could do the old-fashioned paper, they could do the new fashion.
Correct. Yeah, and without belaboring this, the point of confusion and interpretation was that in statute there is a requirement that you have a signature on either your physical license or your electronic license. Well, turns out we don't have the capability with our current Compass system to do an electronic signature on your license. So that's where the difficulty in interpretation and sort of the kind of the confusing, stops in the field kind of came about. And so by eliminating that signature requirement and beefing, and tightening up kind of the charges and creating a new charge, actually, in the case of hunting for lying on your license, we clear this all up. And just make our customers a lot happy, pretty happy, make everyone's lives a lot easier, both on the enforcement and on the recreation side.
Hey, Patrick.
So you can purchase these licenses online and download the.
Yeah. I mean, basically what I did is I was on Compass on my phone, bought the license on my phone, on that same portal, I can pull up my license, my entire license with everything on it, screenshot it, save it in my photos. I'm good to go. No ambiguity. Good to go.
And that's just for recreational?
Correct, just for recreational.
With
So
the
I-
amendments.
Right, if I had a, yeah, the amendment, I'm speaking to the amendments again, so just a reminder. That license format and compass is not for, does not contain commercial licenses. Because of the other, the legal rigmarole, extra requirements in statute, required to do, certain things in person. We don't do any of that online, commercial.
So James, commercial licenses will still always be paper. Have to have a paper document to present.
Correct,
For now.
for now, exactly. Well, there's certain I think the CBF's point, their concern was when this was originally commercial and recreational, they had the concern, well, what do we do about the decal in numbers on boats, right? That can't just be electronic because, we use our, enforcement uses binoculars and other technologies to be able to say, all right, who's on that boat? I see those numbers. I know it's Jay Jacobs doing something, shady.
That's right.
I
got a question.
Delegate Jacobs.
I like the bill. So I'm not against the bill at all. I think it's a good idea. But I do have a recreational question. Now, with the recreational fishing license for the boat that allows me to carry all my colleagues from the committee so they don't have to buy an individual fishing license, requires a sticker on my boat, but it's also a recreational license that's on my displayable license. So I would assume in that particular case, you would still need the decal on the boat so that the police can see it.
Correct.
But I could carry the license on my phone, which authorizes me to carry all my colleagues so they don't have to buy a fishing license.
That's correct, Delegate. You'll notice that we, in the amendments and the markup, and I'm not sure if there's page numbers. I guess there is page 2. You'll see where we start doing a little bit of that redlining there.
But the bottom line is you would still require that sticker on the boat, the decal.
Correct. Yeah, in that specific case,
Even though it's recreational.
Yeah. So again, if you look on page 2, you'll see where we start using the red pen and we say license or stamp authorized under 4-604, 4-614, et cetera. Those reference back to your run of the mill, you have a 7-day license to go, fish up in Allegheny County.
I don't have a problem with the bill. I just want to make sure I clarify that is a recreational license, but it requires a decal, and that was part of CBF's issue, was being able to see the decals. And I don't think it's a problem whatsoever. I just want to make sure it's all good to go with the amendments.
I think it's a great bill.
And I do too.
So Delegate Jacobs.
I'll move favorable on it, Mr. Chairman.
The
I'll
amendment.
second the motion.
So
Gonna move the
Delegate
amendment
Jacobs
first.
just move
I'll move the amendment.
And somebody
Second.
seconded. Okay, all those in favor, aye.
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 Anybody got, I'm going to ask a question. Any abstentions or anything like that? Okay, the bill is amended then. Jay, you were just asking, I think, a really good question. So like the tour boats that the captains get, like people, like the whole committee goes down there at what is it, North Beach? And we get on
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake Beach, and we get on the boat at Chesapeake Beach. So do I need a license to do that?
No.
No.
And
you won't. And you won't on my boat, either, Delegate. As long as we buy that license. But, it's I don't know, $50 or whatever it is, plus we have to put a sticker on the boat. That's what I was asking him about.
Yeah.
If Delegate Jacobs has a boat license, that his personal boat can take out anybody on it, and they don't have to have a license. You're talking about charter boats.
That's a different issue.
Yeah.
But they still don't need a license.
No.
In a point of
Because the charter boat
clarification,
captain has one.
A point of clarification on Delegate Jacobs' boat, he can take you out to fish, but that doesn't mean you'll catch anything.
Oh,
Delegate Wells, well,
Ooh. How many times have you gone and got skunked?
Okay, so on this, I
In
was
our humor.
I was looking at the 4 sections that are referenced. So 4-604 is like an angler's license for non-tidal areas.
Correct.
4-745 is for the tidal areas, Chesapeake Bay, and then the ocean out as far as we control. Which is how far, by the way?
I believe it's 15 miles.
And then there was a section just for trout stamps.
Yes.
So the idea is if I want to do some trout fishing, I go in, I get an angler's license, and then I purchase a trout stamp.
Correct.
And then 10-301 was for all hunting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this demonstrates, kind of how oddly drafted a natural resources article can be, where you have a trout stamp that's broken out as an entirely different section. All the stamps for hunting are all just in 10-301.
Because there's no other stamp broken out on the fishing side, like for rockfish.
the trout stamp's the only stamp.
Yeah, trout stamp's the only stamp.
I could just ask the former chair of the Natural Resources Subcommittee because he knows the answers to all of these.
You could, but I think you'd be disappointed.
And by the way, Delegate Holmes is also a former chair.
That's right.
Okay. Any more discussion on this? I think maybe I did talk to Chesapeake Bay Foundation a little bit and got the same word James did. Okay. Any motion on this?
Move favorable.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that was the only thing on our agenda. Let me just real slowly say there are some bills that we did not put on the agenda today, but a lot of them we had on the agenda last week, like the unlawful taking of oysters. Well, these are some of the bills that are out there. Hemp limits, which we expect to be withdrawn. Delegate Jacobs, we have your poultry litter alternatives bill out there.
They've been discussing the amendments, and I'll know something in the next day or so.
We've got a bill about visitors to program open space, which there's a lot of opposition to. We have the Coast Smart bill. Delegate Lehman asked me to put it on hold this week. We have the snare trap bill, which we think will be ready to go pretty soon.
If anyone sees Delegate Hornberger, can you tell them that we're waiting for a letter from Cecil County delegation?
okay.
I will take care of that.
Okay.
We have a venison sale bill, which we expect Delegate Fraser Hidalgo to be withdrawing. But if it's not withdrawn, maybe we can talk about it next week. And so someone can explain to me what's going on there. And then we have State Lakes Protection Fund, which is an important bill, but there's another one on the same topic coming up in 2 or 3 weeks. So maybe we won't act on that, but we see that as an important bill, or I do anyway, and it's not because we forgot about it. Anything else? All right, everybody. That's it. We're going to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.